What the hell is Nancy all about? Big Brother UK 2025 episode 13, and Cameron B apologised to Faye Shola for barging in on their conversation the other day. I'm so glad he's gone. He's actually exhausting. Once Cameron was evicted, Elsa told some of the housemates that she was going to tell Marcus that she loved him. And I told you this in the last video, right? But I'm still not coping with this. It's insane. Marcus was in the diary room saying that the people in the house wanted Cameron B to go over the other people because of how loud he was. In some comments on other videos, people were saying that Cameron B was so aggressive, and other people were saying, how can you say that? Let's not label people as what they're not. He was so aggressive. There's no denying it. It wasn't just the loudness. I don't know how they could put up with him in that house. Elsa was in the diary room and she was relieved that she didn't go, but she was saying that she had put walls up and she felt like she wasn't having fun and she wasn't being herself, so now she's just got to try and make the most of being in the house. Caroline was talking to Nancy about Cameron B, and she says that the people in the house didn't like him, and if he was her neighbour she wouldn't open her door to him, but he was a lovely boy. I didn't understand the need for that conversation. It was as if she was deliberately just trying to upset Nancy. Elsa was talking to Zila about Marcus, and she was saying, oh, I love him, you know. And Zila was just smiling like, as if, that's nice. And I kind of thought, is nobody in the house going to say to her, that's a bit strange, or do you not think it's a bit soon? Now, you can't tell people how to feel, right? I get that, but it's just a bit bizarre at this point. Richard was called into the diary room and he is no longer cursed, so he thought his day was going to go splendidly. He was wrong. Since Cameron was evicted, he got to leave his eyeballs to somebody and he gave them to Nancy. And you know what, I actually thought that was quite nice because he was friends with Tate and Marcus, but I think she only had 4 eyeballs. So that was a nice gesture. Zila was doing pull-ups on the door and Big Brother got him in trouble and says, I won't tell you again, this isn't a playhouse or whatever. I'm surprised he's never got in trouble before, because I've seen him doing like pull-ups under the table and the chairs and all that, and I think that is a health and safety risk. It was time for the task, the twist of fate, and the housemates went in one by one and they got to pick cards to decide what they did with everybody's eyeballs. Nancy went in first, and since she had just inherited Cameron's eyeballs, she was like, I'm not making any changes, this is the most eyeballs I've had, I'm going to stick. Sam swapped to Cameron. Jenny swapped with Richard. Cameron swapped back with Sam. Richard took 10 for Nancy. Tate wasn't getting involved in the drama, so he stuck. Marcus took 10 for Jenny and gave them to Sam. Elsa took 10 for Cameron and gave them to Marcus. Tasia took 10 for Cameron. And Caroline bankrupted Richard. Was there only a certain amount of cards left, or did she just decide to do that? I felt as if he had already had a pretty hard week. He's got no friends in the house, he's not even had a bed. I felt like it was a bit cruel. I know that she was raging that he took 50 initially, but it was just a bit unfair. Shola took 10 for Tasia, and she says she would understand, right? But I don't really know why she did that. I don't know if it's because she took more initially, but she ended up spending some of her eyeballs on other people, so I don't really get where she was coming from with that one. And Zila done something with Nancy, but I don't know what it was because I don't remember him specifying. When Big Brother announced how many balls each housemate had, and they says that Richard was bankrupt, Caroline went, oh, who would do that? That was evil. But she ended up telling him later. So Big Brother announced to the housemates that he knew that 2 people were speaking in code. What is wrong with these people? Do they not know that Big Brother is always watching, expecting unexpected? He knows everything you're saying. Your codes will be cracked, and the codes weren't even good. That was the worst of it. So Nancy was saying to Sam, oh, I've got something to tell you. And I really feel like actually Sam was just dragged into this whole situation. It wasn't really his fault. But she was saying how she didn't trust Jenny and how Zila thought that Jenny was going to win or whatever the conversation was. But they were calling them like crappy code names. So when they had to stand up and say who they were talking about, she was trying to say like 3 of the names was all George, which I don't believe for a second. But then they says that Jigsaw was Jenny. And Jenny was really upset because she was like, I thought you were my friends and you're talking about me behind my back. And she was saying, like, I haven't seen her react or be really upset or whatever, and I don't know if it's genuine, and that she speaks to everybody in the house. So Big Brother punished them for speaking in code, even though they weren't actually talking about nominations, but all he done was take their eyeballs off them. And I really feel like there should have been more punishment than that. Jenny was really upset, and they went to the snug to have a chat. And what was Nancy's attitude? She was talking to Jenny as if she had done something wrong, and she was saying, "Oh, this wouldn't have happened if I just took you to the side and spoke to you," but she didn't do that. And she says, "Oh, this all happened like during the day. When did I have time to take her to the side, or when did I have time to talk to her? Just don't talk about it until you've got time to talk to her. It's not difficult." She had such a bad attitude. And then when Jenny was getting upset, Nancy says, "Oh, you're genuine now because you're getting upset," and she was like laughing about it. And I thought, see, if they were out the house, Jenny would have stuck their nut right on that bitch. And Nancy was speaking to Jenny like she was speaking down to her. She was being patronising. I don't really know why Jenny was upset, because I'd kind of would have been like, "Do you know what, I don't give a fuck what you think. Literally, you're so insignificant at this point." Zila was talking to Sam, and he was trying to say maybe Nancy was being strategic, as in maybe Nancy is trying to get you to vote for Jenny, but he's not allowed to say that. So he's trying to tell him, like, watch Nancy, because she might be up to something. But Sam's like, "Oh, what do you mean?" He just doesn't get what's going on. So there was people online leaving comments on the preview video saying that, "Oh, I don't like Jenny now, get Jenny out." What has Jenny done? Jenny was getting spoke about behind her back by code. Nancy couldn't even come up and speak to her face, and then people are blaming Jenny when it's Nancy that's clearly the problem. On Late and Live, they were showing you some of the things that are going to be available in the shop for them to spend their eyeballs on. So somebody could spend 10 eyeballs and nominate somebody to nominate face to face. They'll be able to bid for immunity, so that's 2 for 1. So if they bid for the eyeballs, then they can save themselves and somebody else. And one of the things they can buy for only 10 eyeballs is to put another housemate in jail while the rest of the housemates have a party. I don't think she'll do it. But if I was Jenny, I would put Nancy in jail. And then I'd say, "Well, you think I'm fake? Well, I don't like you. I hope this is a clear enough message. Enjoy your night in the jail, bitch." So let me know what you think. Whose side are you on? Let me know what 2 housemates you think are going to return to the house. And let me know who you think is going to be up for nomination. Now, keep in mind that this week's eviction is fake, and they're going to go into a fake room. But do you remember if they says it's going to be a double fake, or if it's just going to be one person that goes out? So this is going to change everything. We want people to go up that we wouldn't normally want to go out. It's going to be very interesting. But I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.